Alright, let's wait for the camera to stabilize. Hey, big boy. Hey. Alright, good morning, fellow Pokemon trainers and Nintendo fans. Prince Charmingder here with a brand new video, first video of 2020. Oh man, it's already starting. I wanted to get some speculation and stuff, but never
Hello
mind.
everyone, I'm Masahiro Sakurai, director of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from Sora Limited.
Well, we're gonna watch along and see who the next fighter is.
We'll be using today's showcase to give you a first look at our next DLC fighter.
With no pre-announcement? Who is it?
Actually, hardly anyone knows what we'll be announcing today, even among Nintendo staff worldwide.
Lies.
The development team and other stakeholders have been working on this fighter with the utmost secrecy.
Who the hell could
Which
it be?
means other Nintendo staff around the globe will only start making preparations for release after the showcase has been broadcast. So, it won't be available right away. Please understand that it will take a little time.
Everyone was hoping that we'd get
I
a
think
shout
even
drop.
many Nintendo employees will be surprised to see this and say, wow, really?
Master Chief, Master Chief, Master Chief.
Let's all share in the fun of getting our hands on
That's
the
what I
latest
want.
information.
That's what I want. Oh, I'll get to text Baby Umber, make sure she's watching.
However, even if you say, that's not the character I was picturing, I hope you don't have any hard feelings.
Oh man.
We
Oh,
prepared
it's
a fighter
decisive.
reveal
Come
video.
here, big boy.
Once it
Oh,
starts,
pup
I
is
think
over
you'll
here.
figure out who it is pretty quickly. Now, let's do this.
Ooh, we get a new trailer. Ah! Master Chief, Master Chief, Master Chief. Oh, my camera's trying to focus. Focus, camera. Who could it be? Oh my god, it's Fire Emblem! Are you kidding me?
The time has finally come to unleash the forbidden spell of Zaharas upon our enemies!
That's why he don't want to tell anyone. He knows we're all tired of Fire Emblem.
What were you thinking, charging right into an enemy's trap? As you and I are one, I too am trapped within this void. In time, our hearts and minds will cease to be.
Hearts and minds?
Are you
It's
prepared
Sora!
to die?
It's Sora. Watch. This is just a freaking huge fake out.
I thought as much. I also do not wish to die. And yet... there is no other choice. You must join Smash.
God dang it.
Join Smash Brothers already! What in the world are you waiting for?
So joining Smash consumes even the
Oh,
darkness
yes.
itself.
He knew that everyone was going to be freaking livid. Oh, no one wants another sword fighter. Oh, that sucks. We had perfectly great, every DLC fighter so far has been amazing, except for this one. I haven't played Fire Emblem Three Houses. I'm sure it's great, but we have so many Fire Emblem representatives.
So you return, and sooner than expected. I see. Too many swordsmen, are there? And you wield the sword as well? What will you do? Huh. So that is how you plan to win the day? So be it. I reward your cleverness this time.
Who is this? Do we get different loadouts? Is it different loadouts? Is that what it is?
How is this?
Blythe recruits Blythe. Okay, at least there's a girl version. Is this the main character? Is this the main character in Three Houses? I honestly don't know.
Of anyone, you should be able to handle the hero's relics.
So there's Lance. There's an axe and a sword.
Arid Fire, strike with superior reach. Use Amir's overwhelming power.
So it's Hatchet Man.
Unleash the blinding speed of
Link's bow.
Famelot. Along with the sword of the creator, each weapon matches a direction.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little underwhelmed.
Mine be now as one.
It looks alright. Another walk-off.
To you, both sides of time are revealed. Through Smash, show the world.
Yay! Oh, Mr. Sakurai, you. Go behind the scenes.
Yes, there you have it. Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses is joining the battle.
Oh, I can't.
Fire Emblem Three Houses was released just last summer, so it's still very new. Even so, you'll soon be able to play as them in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This release is planned for January 28th. You'll have instant access if you have the Super Smash Bros.
28th,
Ultimate
okay, not
Fighters
too
Pass,
bad.
and it will also be available for purchase individually. In case you're not familiar with Fire Emblem or Three Houses, I'll explain a few things, so don't worry.
Please do, because I don't know.
First off, what is Fire Emblem? It's really hard to pronounce in
I'm really
Japanese.
bummed, I'm not gonna lie.
The producer said it's okay if I just say Fire Emblem. But when writing it, if you don't write Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem police will come and get you, so please be careful. The series' first entry launched in
look at
Japan
Mars.
on the
Oh my
Famicom
god, it looks like the
in
first
1990.
amiibo.
You could say it was a pioneer in the genre of tactical role-playing games. You might be wondering what makes it particularly tactical. Well, it's tactical in that it simulates combat. You can think of it as moving pieces in a board game, or in other words, a game in which you advance units across a grid and battle. When we talk about tactical games of that era, there were lots of ones in which you command tanks, aircrafts, and so on. But Fire Emblem was unique because each unit was a specific character, sort of like in role-playing games.
Well, it's a good thing to know. I'm not the only one who's bummed. Baby Umbri's also bummed too. It's just like
Plus,
not disappointing. Another
something
Fire
that would
Emblem
stand
character.
out from other Nintendo products.
But I don't want to be too negative on this.
Characters could
Hey,
permanently
he's
die.
put a lot of hard work into this. Damn it.
That's pretty direct language though, so perhaps we should just say they're sleeping with the fishes.
Oh my god.
But really, if a character fell in battle, you'd lose that unit. They'd be gone and you couldn't use them again.
Permadeath.
Recent entries in the series maintain this concept of permadeath to some degree in classic mode and what have you, but a lot of games now allow strategic withdrawals, so to speak.
AKA
In the older
easy mode.
games, your units would really be gone, never to be mentioned again. Scary.
It's like they died.
The game's
sure you
stories
mentioned that. I
are
was paying
told like
attention right now. I was
chronicles of
texting.
war, with increasingly distinct characters and engrossing scenarios.
They should have given us
Several
Hector.
characters also appear in the Super Smash Bros. Series, and 6 of the
axe.
7
An axe would
use
have
a
been so cool.
counterattack. It's their down special. There's actually a reason for this. When I was considering how to incorporate Fire Emblem fighters into Super Smash Bros. Melee, I thought it might be interesting to reflect the turn-based nature of the original game. First comes your opponent's turn. They attack and you counter. Next comes your turn.
That's pretty interesting. I didn't know that's why he gave him a counter.
And now, Fire Emblem Three Houses is the 17th game in the series.
What? I
People
played
who aren't
Awakening.
Japanese in particular
I
might be
have
thinking,
faith, but I
17
kind
games?
of want to play
There
Three
are
Houses.
that
It looks
many?
interesting.
Well, if you
Not
include
anymore.
Fire Emblem Heroes in the remakes, but you don't include the Satellaview game, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, and Fire Emblem Warriors, then it comes out to 17 games. Let's try saying them in the Fire Emblem Can You Say It challenge.
What?
I'll give it a try.
暗黒竜と光の剣、外伝、紋章の謎、聖戦の系譜、トラキア776、封印の剣、烈火の剣、
I like how he
聖な
counts.
功績、
Look at his fingers.
草原の奇跡、暁の女神、新暗黒竜、新紋章、覚醒イフ、ヒーローズ、エコーズ、風化設立。
There you go, 17.
Three houses. That's what it was. Oh.
So you saw how I was counting in a weird way, right?
Yes.
I was counting in binary.
つまりこれが
This is 0. Fold this here and you get 1, and then you get 2, then 2 plus 1 equals 3. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you get 16. Add 1 and you get 17. Awesome, isn't it?
Yo,
You
there's
can
always
actually
something new to
count
learn.
up to 31 on one hand. And if you use both hands, you can count all the way up to 1023.
What does this have to do with Smash?
If you've given up counting the knots in a tatami mat, you could always give it a go. What is Fire Emblem Three Houses? In Japanese, the male version of the main character is called Bereto and the female version is called Beresu, but in English they share the same name, Byleth.
Just like Rob.
Byleth becomes a professor who ends up leading one of three academic houses. Once you've chosen a house, you guide them through their school lives, and, well, you end up fighting the other houses. After a certain incident, 5 years pass, and you meet up with your grown-up students to battle against the other houses in their regions. It's a very sad game in which your former allies become enemies, turn hostile, and try to kill you.
Yikes.
To understand the concept of Fire Emblem Three Houses, I played an early version of the game before its release. I've done the same thing before, with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example.
Oh, lucky.
Because I couldn't wait until launch to experience it, or we'd have never made it in time. For that title, I borrowed an early version of the game for 2 days, ran around all the areas, saw the ending, and realized for the first time, I guess we can't really have Breath of the Wild's Princess Zelda as a fighter.
Aww.
I did the same this time, but with there being 3 houses and multiple endings, it was really hard to get a feel for it. And of course, there weren't any walkthroughs I could reference. The game has multiple routes and the outcome of each is very different. Your experience will vary depending on the route you choose, and many of the characters you meet will adopt different roles in the
I
story.
legitimately want to play the game.
I'll try to avoid spoilers when I'm talking about the fighter. I hope
okay.
you'll understand.
Like, oh yeah. The game hasn't even been out for a year,
Before my
so you can't be
demonstration,
giving out
I
spoilers.
should point out that when I did the Terry Bogard showcase video, I mentioned that it was recorded a month in advance. But this time, we have to account for the holidays and such, so we're filming 2 months in advance of this video's release. Right now, it's actually November.
2 months
Therefore,
in
some of
advance.
what I'm about to show you might differ a bit from the finished version.
So I've been able to keep this on around
As
for
always,
2
I'm
months.
using
No way
a
this
special
wasn't the one
in-game
that
camera and such for
totally
demonstration
leaked.
purposes.
This should have been the one that leaked, so that way everyone knew
Here we
not
go.
to be, not to expect anything, but it's okay. Yo, how are they gonna go from like third
this
party,
is our
third
new
party,
fighter,
third party,
Byleth.
third party to first party? Well, actually, they went first party. They did Piranha Plant was the first
Sadly,
DLC,
they're lacking
and it
in
makes sense
mobility.
to end with an
It's
Nintendo
maybe a
character.
bit better than Robin's, but that's about all you can say for them. Throws are not their strong point either. Their grab lacks range. But actually, you could say that they're distance demon.
Oh joy, zoners.
The hero's relic they use changes depending on the direction you input with the stick. Each of the hero's relics is a weapon that appears in Fire Emblem Three Houses. They look like bones, and there's a reason for that.
Oh, don't tell me.
First, let's talk about the weapon Byleth uses for upward inputs, the Sword of the Creator. The Sword of the Creator here is Byleth's default weapon. They use it for flurry attacks and tilt attacks, such as down tilt attacks,
That looks
where
like
it
a
takes
whip.
the form of a whip.
Oh, okay. Wow, way to go, Captain.
They
Obvious.
also use the sword for dash attacks and other moves. For their up smash attack, they'll whip the sword upward to launch enemies in the air.
Oh, got a little bit of lag
For
on
their
that.
up air attack, they'll wave the whip sword overhead. The hit detection for this attack lasts for a relatively long time. The up special move is really something. The sword extends like this, allowing you to do things like this.
Whoa, what the heck?
It was pretty terrifying how I knocked him into the air with that attack. And in addition,
Whoa! Pseudo spike.
you can do awful things like this. That said, you'll launch opponents upward until their damage reaches a certain percentage. Exceed that percentage and you'll need to be careful. You may find it helpful to mid-air dodge. I've already shown this, but you can also use it to latch onto edges. So that's the up
recovery
special.
too.
Now, for the sideways inputs. This is Erdvar, the same name as the weapon from Celtic mythology.
You know what? I should move my camera out
First,
of
we'll
the
go
way,
through the forward and back air attacks.
because we can't see the
As you
names
can
of
see,
the,
they have a long reach. Like so.
we can't see the names of the weapons.
Marth's air
Not that it
attack
makes a
keeps
big
opponents in
difference,
check
but
too, right?
Oh man, what weird names.
If Byleth does the same thing, you'd win out, so you should be able to beat it. Next, the side smash attack. This also has a long range. It'll connect even from here.
What's a lance? That's the lance.
Also, if you add an upward tilt, it will be stronger. And if you've knocked an opponent down,
wonder if it has the same reach
side
as, like-
attack won't hit unless you add a downward tilt to aim for them.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
By
I
the
wonder
way,
if it- I
the
wonder
tip
how-
of the
what-
lance
what
is
the
more
range
powerful.
is. So it's
The
got
shaft
chipper.
part is weaker, so it's not suited to close combat. It won't
Oh,
deal
yeah.
much damage, and it won't launch opponents far.
I wonder what the range is on that if it's
That's
longer
why,
than
as a
Simon's
rule,
whip.
You want to hit with the blade part aimed upward, or downward in this case. Next, the side special move. Byleth will simply swing the lance like
It does
this,
have a lot of reach.
but again, it has excellent reach. For example, even when your opponent is at this distance, it'll still hit.
Kind of dashes forward too, so I guess that's what adds to the reach.
Actually, you can do a smash attack to charge forward a little, like this.
Wait, what do you mean add a smash attack?
But as you'd expect, it can be easily shielded, so be careful. Use it in midair and you'll carve up a large area. Returning to the side air attacks from earlier, they have great horizontal reach, but they lack verticality. So this complements it well, although you'll be vulnerable when you land.
Ooh, a lot of end lag.
Now, for the downward inputs. For these, Byleth will use an axe called Emir.
A mirror.
It's named after a weapon that appears in Ugaritic myth. First, the down air attack. It really is strong.
Oh, does that spike? Please tell me that spikes.
You can try for a meteor effect with this attack.
That was nice.
Next is the down smash attack.
Koopa.
A heavy swing of the axe back and forth. As you can see, it has a great deal of launch power. And for the down special, Byleth channels all their energy into a devastating strike.
AKA Hatchet
It's a
Man.
bold move, similar to the Falcon Punch, but here's what makes it different. When readying the move, there's a super armor effect,
Oh, nice. Hero doesn't have that.
which allows you to withstand an attack. Just so you know, if you execute a Falcon Punch at about the same time,
Oh,
it plays
jeez.
out like this.
So it's got more. Oh,
It's a bit slower
big
than the
Warlock
Falcon
punch,
Punch,
though.
but due to the super armor effect, you have the advantage. Unless you get grabbed.
You gotta make sure
Another
you time
notable
it right, though.
aspect is that it lets you pass through platforms. While you're charging up, you can breeze past platforms like this to reach a lower area. It won't let you jump, but you could use it as a surprise attack.
That's pretty useful.
Also, you can turn around during the move. The swing takes a while, so if an opponent runs behind you during the move, you can quickly change direction. Even though it can be hard to land a hit with this move, it can be really effective when used against a group of opponents.
Especially when they're two big heavies.
Plus, even if you fail to land a direct hit, any opponents on the ground nearby will still be launched a little.
That's not bad.
It's as if the quaking of the ground launches them.
Kill Ness. Do it.
By the way, earlier I talked a little bit about the other Fire Emblem characters' moves. I don't recommend using this down special against fighters from the Fire Emblem series, because you'll just get loads of counters. It hits with that much power in a single attack. Counters can actually multiply the power of blocked attacks, and using easily anticipated attacks like this could just get you hit by counter after counter. Next, we have the neutral moves. The bow you use is called Failnaught, which shares its name with the bow from the Knights of the Round Table. It only appears in a few neutral moves.
I did not know that.
You've got the neutral air attack. This attack is similar to a move of Pit's and other fighters like him. It lets you spin the weapon around. It's also easy to create certain combos with it. And with the neutral special, you'll let loose an arrow.
Can you
It
hold
seems
it?
pretty straightforward, right?
You probably charge it.
But there are a few noteworthy aspects to this bow. First, the biggest difference between this bow and Link's is that once you enter the command, you can keep charging until it's ready. You can't release it partway through the charge, so when it does fire, the arrow travels at high speed. It's also very powerful.
Oh, so you can't just like
That said,
rapid
you
fire.
can still cancel out of the stance using the shield button.
No, that's nice. That's pretty cool.
You can also change direction while in the stance.
Ooh.
It works up until this point, but if you keep holding the button,
Yeah, I was
you'll
saying, what happens if
unleash a powerful arrow that looks like a beam of light.
oh shit. That's gonna be fun for
You can perform this
sniping.
move by keeping the button held down. You charge up power like so, charge a bit more, and then fire.
Does it automatically release though, or
But
can you
again,
hold it like
you'll need to take
indefinitely?
care when using this move. For one, when you've powered up the move to its max, there's no way to cancel out of it. Not even with the shield button. In other words, you're committed to firing it. So you see, a situation like this is pretty terrible.
Wow. Or if you're trying to
Once
use it
you've
on
entered the
stage.
stance, you won't be able to do anything. Which means it's quite the risky attack to use against fighters who have a move with a reflector effect. But you could always just aim into the fray, as it is, after all, a long-range move, letting you deal a sudden blow to opponents.
And what's the drop off?
So you need to think carefully when using this projectile weapon. Byleth's final smash is called Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven. In the original game, there's a move called Ruptured Heaven. This is an enhanced version.
Progenitor God version. Jeez.
As you can see, you team up with the mysterious Sothis and launch an attack together. Now, let's talk about the color variations. It's set up so that the default and odd-numbered color variations are male, while the even-numbered ones are female.
Isn't that how they all are?
However, the third, fourth, and fifth colors are, as you can see, reminiscent of the house leaders. Those of you who played the original game will of course understand what I'm referring to.
Oh, that's
The
pretty cool.
sixth color is based on Sothis, who you just saw earlier. And the seventh and eighth variations have a different hair color, which is based on something that occurs in the course of the original game's story.
Thank you.
Didn't we see this variation in the final smash?
Monastery.
Next, I'll introduce the stage. For this one, we of course tried to recreate the place where you spend most of the game, Garreg Mach Monastery. This is how Garreg Mach Monastery is laid out in the original game. From these, we chose to have it cycle through the marketplace, reception hall, bridge, and cathedral, all in one stage.
Oh, another auto travel stage.
It's the type of stage that rotates through different areas, such as these four.
It's like a Coliseum.
Let me introduce each of the guests that appear in these four areas. The first area is the marketplace. I think this is where a lot of people come to do their shopping. The guests that appear here are students of the Blue Lion's house, Dimitri, Dedu, and Ingrid. Not Dimitri, Dudu, or Ingrid. Their names are a bit difficult to say. They're largely from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Since it's a kingdom, that means they have a monarchy. For that reason, I guess you could say Dimitri is the future king. He had quite a difficult life and may or may not end up with just one eye. He's an unfortunate one, that one. There are vendors on either side. In the original game, these are important booths where you buy all sorts of things, but here you can break them, you see. If you do break them,
If people need their
the
life.
stage will expand to the left and right. I wonder where people will buy their supplies now. And in the background, you can see the gatekeeper. You often pass through this area in Fire Emblem 3 houses, and you end up talking to him a lot. Moving through these areas is possible thanks to this mysterious platform. Just when it seems like you've come to a stop, you'll come crashing back down. We've broken through the ceiling and slammed into the building. And the guests in the reception hall are Edelgard, Dorothea, and Petra of the Black Eagles. Take note, it's not spelled Edelgard. They're from the Adressian Empire. And as such, they embrace their military might.
Black Eagle.
Edelgard is one of the characters who is central to the conflict.
That'll be like Red Eagle, but
Depending on the path you take, she'll go through some terrible ordeals. You'll notice there are prominent chandeliers above the stage. It's possible to knock them down.
oh, sweet. Just like
However,
take them,
Violet can't actually reach it, even though it's their stage. You can reach it with other fighters though.
Oh wow, that sucks.
So, it's nice if you can work your way up there by getting lucky and being launched up, or perhaps by using another fighter as a stepping stone. There we go, I made it. And you can knock it down. Also, you can break this table.
So
like
Violet,
so. Just like the sign that reads
Are they
Feeding
like the
Cousin
little
in the
Mac of,
Suzaku Castle stage,
Fire
it
Emblem
can break
characters?
if you launch the opponent into it at close range. Next up, the bridge. The camera rotates 90 degrees, creating this long area. It's very wide indeed.
The Pegasus. We should have got. That'd be so cool. if we
It's
had a
similar to
Pegasus
the Bridge
fighter.
of Elden stage. The guests are from the Golden Deer, Claude, Hilda, and Lawrence. They belong to the Leicester Alliance. Because it's an alliance of many noble families, you could say that they have a wide assortment of members. And Claude is the sharpest of the bunch.
Close.
Incidentally, both Claude and Hilda are the names of characters that appear in Genealogy of the Holy War, the 4th title in the Fire Emblem series. I guess once you've reached the 17th game and are creating 40 characters for each new entry, you're bound to get a bit of name overlap. The naming process must be tough. Hey, it looks like the Pegasus Knight is busy training. As for the bridge's design, it's just a long pathway, plain and simple. You can expect plenty of blows to be exchanged at the edges of the screen. You could also say it's a place where the fail knot really shines, and in this sense, I think it suits the Golden Deer perfectly.
Dang. So it's just another it's Bridge of Elden 2.0, but brighter.
The last area is the cathedral, only with some platforms you can pass through. The guests appearing in the cathedral are Seteth, Flayn, and Rhea. There's Seteth, who appears to have an extremely strong bond with his sister, Flayn. She seems to be under the protection of him and Rhea, who you can see fighting during the opening of Fire Emblem Three Houses. All three have character quirks related to their true identities.
Which I want.
I feel that Flayn might be saying shush at this point, so I'll leave it at that.
Thank you.
This is a simple area of the stage. All it has are these platforms. Being the last area, it may be a place where some intense battles will be waged. It'll cycle through each location in about 2.5 minutes.
Is he gonna
Okay,
dunk on
today
some,
we'll have a
CPUs?
tag team battle in Squad Strike with the DLC team pitted against Fire Emblem protagonists
Hey,
from
you're
throughout the
missing
ages.
someone.
That'll give us precisely 5 players per side. Alright, here we go, Joker. Joker!
Oh my god.
And Hero!
Um,
Gee, we really made a lot, huh?
Wonder Wing off.
Banjo!
Wonder Wing off. Aw, I wanted
By
the Wonder
now,
Wing.
I think you know what I'm doing. But basically, I'm trying to defeat all 5 opponents with just the Professor gear. But as expected, it's going to be a pretty tough battle, so I'm using anything I can get my hands on. It's not going to land that easily.
I wonder
Oh,
what
this is bad. Bennigan.
I wonder what CPU level he's playing on.
I better keep my distance. I'll use this chance to attack. Got him.
Very nice.
That's
Run away
scary.
from the bomb.
He's invincible for a moment here. Lots of explosives. Ouch. He perfect shielded that, huh?
Getting parried by the CPU,
Good one.
Sakurai.
If I do this, or like so. No anti-air, huh? There, the soccer ball connected. Good, there's Mom. You're in a good spot, Mom.
No, you're fine.
Ah, I shouldn't have taken that. Gardevoir. Well, I guess no one uses projectiles. At this point, it doesn't matter if Gardevoir's there or not.
No, yeah, I still am. It's almost over there.
I feel like the
almost
enemy
over
might get this smash ball. See? They got it. But I mustn't give up. I can't waste this chance.
Broke his shield? Oh my god.
There's another smash ball. Yes, got it. Now, what are you charging up for?
Sakurai shit talking the computer.
There's still more. Whack.
Finish it with the hammer.
Go on, you can take the hammer, but it's mine. Although I'm scared I might get hit with a counter in this state. I hit him. I was trying to fight using Byleth's abilities alone, but what matters is that I won. Good game. It can be fun to play like this, especially in tag team, so I think it's a good idea to try imposing different types of challenges on yourself. The end. Now, about the additional music.
Only like 4 minutes
Since
left.
it's from the Fire Emblem series, we'll be adding each of the new tracks to all the Fire Emblem stages. There are already a lot of Fire Emblem tracks in the game. Our selection this time has been made taking those existing tracks into consideration. 11 songs are being added. This includes an arrangement of the main theme in both Japanese and English. I hope you'll enjoy these as well. We're also adding in a new spirit board.
Those are your spares.
It includes the
I'll
house
put them
leaders
back.
among some of the other popular characters.
Hope? What does it say, hope?
Sothis is Legend class. Also, there's a new classic mode route, a Heroic Legacy, which is designed to let you enjoy classic Fire Emblem stages from throughout the series' history. The final battle is against Master Hand and Crazy Hand, but you'll find that something pretty amusing happens, so look forward to that. Now for the Mii Fighter costumes. Please take a look.
Mii Fighter. I think it was a Master Chief Mii Fighter or Doomslayer. I'll be mad. Alright, bye Mama. Love you. Mom's leaving for work. Happy bear. Happy bear. Who are we getting? Oh shit! Assassin's Creed. That's cool. Deconfirmed. Rabbit? Oh, you're getting a rabbit? Oh, that's... Oh, it's just a hat. Okay. Think about X, who could it be? Oh, that's right, we don't have X. I thought we did. I thought it was gonna be Vile. I'm getting Mega Man Anti-Warrior. EX. Oh, that's right. It's execute. What, Cuphead? Yo, that's sick. Oh my god, he looks so cute. Oh, it comes with a music track? Oh my god, he looks so good. He looks just as good as Sans. I love it. They did the one-hit KO. Cuphead. Oh, he looks adorable. I'm definitely getting Cuphead. I got Sans when it came out, and I got the Pokemon Trainer, but or Team Rocket. So Doomslayer and Master Chief are not deconfirmed. I want one of them. I want a big bad gun user. 28 for 75 cents each. I'm definitely getting Cuphead.
This time we're releasing a Cuphead costume. And for those of you who purchased the Cuphead costume, an additional song will be added. It's called Floral Fury, and it's the theme that plays when fighting Cagney Carnation. I hope you enjoy these as well. After purchasing a costume, I recommend using the sharing feature. If someone has created a Mii fighter, you can play using the costume it's wearing immediately after you download it.
So we don't have to buy it?
And now, onto the amiibo.
Oh, that's right, Dark Samus! Yeah, look at her!
The color palette for Dark Samus looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Dark Samus and Richter are planned for release on Friday, January 17th.
It's tomorrow. Oh.
And now, with the addition of Violet, the Fighter's Pass is finally complete. The lineup was Joker, Hero, Banjo and Kazooie, Terry Bogard, and Violet.
It should have just been all third-party characters, but whatever.
From more than 70 fighters, only 5 have been added. But I must say, this game has always been an exceptional experience. And since the roster was already so large to begin with, right from the start, we intended to make the most out of the new gameplay mechanics and so on. There really were a lot of new mechanics, weren't there?
Yeah, there were.
When we add a new fighter, we don't simply make their attacks or their movements a little different. Instead, we try to offer you a whole new style of play.
I don't know about Violet's new level of play though. Oh!
As I stated, we'll continue to release more DLC fighters down the line.
He's like, I know you guys are thinking
I thought that 1 or 2 might suffice, but, well...
We're doing 5. Oh! Wait, what? Even more fighters in development. 5 more. 5 more. 5 more. 5 more. 5. Woohoo! We're getting 5. 11? Oh man, we're getting 6 more! Holy shit!
Looks like there'll be 1 more fighter than last time. For this reason, we will be releasing the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Volume 2. It will be available for pre-purchase on the date shown, so please keep an eye out. And now that it's official, we intend to move ahead with development. Of course, like last time, the contents will remain unknown for now, and I'm personally very sorry that we have to release Fighters Pass Volume 2 when the details have yet to be revealed.
I'm gonna hold off on
like
it.
Last time, I'd be very grateful if, despite that, you would understand why and purchased it.
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna
Furthermore,
pre-purchase
the new
it
editions have
until I know
already been
who's coming in, but I
Even
pre-purchased
if
the
I
other one
received
without...
many requests regarding potential candidates on Twitter, I'm afraid it would be very hard to consider them.
What?
But I still hope you'll look forward to it. We're also including a bonus with Fighters Pass Volume 2. Last time, it was a Rex costume, but this time, here's what we have. It's a Mii Fighter costume for Mii Sword Fighter, the ancient soldier gear from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
This will not be for sale individually, so it can only be acquired as part of Fighters Pass Volume 2.
So you better make sure you buy the Fighters Pass then. That's right, Rex costume. Lastly, huh?
It's been reported that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest selling fighting game in the world.
Yeah!
Personally, I don't know if it counts as simply a fighting game, but I guess it's seen as a fighting game around the world.
It's a fighting game, Sakurai, you know that. Not a party game, you know
It
it.
seems like Street Fighter 2 was in the lead for a while, but now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has surpassed it in total sales. However, I'm not sure if this is accurate. There were 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, or 6 to 7 if we really want to get into the weeds. Plus, there's the arcade versions and the 25 ports to other systems, so I don't know if that's been accounted for. Also, I don't know if that really qualifies as one game. It's up for discussion. So, who knows? But when it comes to a single piece of software, it seems like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is #1.
Heck yes. For a good reason, you
Although, I still
worked
don't
super
know if
damn
it
hard
can
on
really
it.
be called just a fighting game. I feel like it's become more than a fighting game, some sort of celebration of gaming or something else entirely.
Ah, yes it is.
Also, I feel a deep attachment to the 5 DLC fighters. The first Fighters Pass just wrapped up, but it was decided that there would be more DLC. which means no breaks for me.
思っています。
No, no,
I plan to
stop!
keep working hard, so I hope you can continue to support us.
He's guilting us again.
That's it. Thank you.
But I know he means it. Bye, Mr. Sakurai. Okay, so shoot, that was it. Wow, that went on for a lot longer than I thought it was going to. They said about 35 minutes. It was 40. 3 houses. Overall impressions. Me personally, I'm kind of bummed. I'm now awake now. I've been up since 5:30 getting ready for this, so I was like super tired. You notice I yawned probably a couple times in the thing. Kind of bummed because it's another Fire Emblem character. Byleth is different from the other characters as we saw, but it's still a bummer. I was hoping to see another. Oh, what the heck is this? Is this going on? Is this going on again? Hold on, hold on. What's going on? What is going on? Oh, an error occurred. All right, never mind. All right, never mind then. We'll just ignore that. I really wanted Master Chief. I was hoping Master Chief would get in. Doomslayer, Sora. Heck, I would have even taken. There's a rumor going around that it was going to be Dante from Devil May Cry, but what are you going to do? It's still nice that we're getting 6 new characters. He had to address that, of course, because if not, if it was just Fire Emblem, I know that a lot of people would have been like, grumble, grumble. You've given us so much, yet we want more. Give us more, you poor man that doesn't get any breaks. But yeah, I'm excited. I'll try Byleth out. I definitely want to play Fire Emblem 3 Houses, and I'll be purchasing the Fighters Pass Season 2. Hopefully, there's 6 fighters, so we'll see. Hopefully Master Chief or Doomslayer get in. I would love to see Master Chief or Doomslayer. I don't know what Doomslayer's like Final Smash would be or Master Chief's, but I still want to play. So thank you guys for watching along with me, seeing the reaction to the newest Smash Bros. Fighter number 5 from the DLC. If you enjoyed this video, hit a like, leave a comment. What are you excited about? Who do you hope gets in for Season 2? Are you excited for Byleth? Are you going to play it with him or her? Whichever one you want to use. It's like Corrin and Robin. There's a male and female. And if you want to be notified whenever we have new videos going up, hit subscribe, and that way you can join us on all our fun adventures. I have a whole lot that I'm hopefully trying to do in 2020. We uploading a couple more videos this week. There's a couple things I want to do, and then I want to just like kind of catch up and touch base because uploads have been pretty spotty for the last like year and a half. So what can you do? All right, guys. We'll see you next time, and take care. Bye.